So we will probably at the moment be feeling lots of kind of negative, strong emotions. And we may also, one of the ways that the brain alerts the rest of the brain, so the emotional architecture of the brain shouts a message to the rest of the brain, is it uses things called cognitive distortions, which are kind of loud, negatively biased responses that try and get the attention of the whole brain to whatever problems that we're facing. So we may be experiencing more of these cognitive distortions, all or nothing thinking. It's all good or it's all bad. We might be experiencing catastrophizing, which is when our brain goes off on one and imagines all possible negative scenarios. We might be experiencing minimization, that it's all kind of bad and it's getting worse, and anything good that happens isn't actually a sign of improvement. It's just a little bit of luck. We might be jumping to conclusions. I was speaking to some people this week, and that was definitely the experience that those young people were having. We might be beating ourselves up about all the things we should be doing now, we must be doing now, we ought to be doing now. We might be blaming our parents, ourselves, our schools. We might be labeling ourselves, our parents, our schools. We might be emotionally reasoning, trying to work out how we're going to get through this using our emotions only. And where we need to be is in a balanced place between our thinking network and our emotional network. So what can we do about all this? I'm exhausted just thinking about the amount of kind of emotion ocean, the anxiety that's flying around. What can we do? Well, we can have cake, but in this case, I don't mean that cake. I mean the first Neuro Ninja skill that I'm going to talk about, and we'll drop one each day during the course of this week, to respond to all that change. Ultimately, change means our brain experiences uncertainty, which means we feel anxiety and a whole bunch of other emotions and those cognitive distortions that I just mentioned. So we need to apply cake. And this is really tricky. It's a skill, and it's going to take time, because when we're feeling anxious and emotional, we can want to distract ourselves from that. We want to push those experiences away. We kind of have a moodiness, and we don't want to engage with them. We tell ourselves that it's not fair, that it's only us that's having these emotions, that everyone else is fine. And that isn't true. What we need to do is try and create balance in our brain. So when we're having lots of anxious feelings, lots of strong emotions, where our self is located very much in that emotional processing part of our brain. And that's important. It's really important, because there's lots of change and uncertainty out there, but we need to get ourselves balanced in our head. And the way we do that is by thinking about the fact that the anxiety we're feeling is not an experience that we're feeling alone. Other people are feeling that. In fact, the whole human race is feeling that right now. It's a common humanity. Anxiety is a connected experience that all of us are experiencing. Common humanity. We need to be aware and accept there's a lot of change at the moment. So our emotion ocean, our cognitive distortions are going to be rolling all over the place. And then kindly and curiously, one little problem at a time, we just need to work our way through those kind of issues. So, you know, your schools will be in lots to give you and your parents reassurance about how they're going to manage the return to school. And they have been brilliant, and they continue to be brilliant in terms of the solutions they come up to. So if you've got questions, ask, read through the material they give you, look at good sources of information on the internet to answer the questions that you've got, and kindly and curiously identify the worries that your brain is chewing over. And crucially, feel empathy towards yourself and other people. Feel those emotions. Now, those 4 steps, cake, awareness, common humanity, awareness, acceptance, kind curiosity, and empathy, lift us into the top part of our brain.